This is Essence of Life Radio. I'm Shari Arison, and we're here today with Dr. Nader Botto.
Thank you for your invitation.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
So this program is called The Path to Enlightenment and Inner Peace, and I'd like to hear about you and your path, and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a cardiologist, and I have been working for more than 30 years in invasive cardiology. Angiography and angioplasty. In the meantime, I was searching all the time for the meaning of life and the essence of the human being, because I was not satisfied with the model that we have in medicine right now, that the human being is a biological machine,
Right.
and we are not. And I started to search for meaning and for the essence of the soul. And I asked this question: what is soul? What is spirit? Where is the spiritual world is existing, or something is imaginary that, a lot of people that believe of its existence, but actually there's nothing. And I started to search this dimension from the first beginning when I started to study medicine.
Well, that's very unusual for a doctor to start searching for the soul while studying medicine. That's amazing.
Yeah, actually, it's in the lesson of anatomy, I asked myself and asked my friend, it's interesting where the soul of this gentleman went. And he looked at me and said, what you are speaking about, there's no such a thing as a soul.
Really?
Yeah, you have biochemical processes, and you have electromagnetic activity. When it's disturbed, as there is a disease, and when it's stopped, you have the death. And I asked myself, I said, millions or more even in the world are believing in spirit and in soul. All of them, they are wrong. And from that point, I started to search for the soul. And I started to do hypnosis.
Hypnosis?
Yes.
Really? On yourself or on other
Myself.
people? On yourself?
No. I learned myself to do on other people.
Okay.
And I started to get results that are not explained in medicine. For example, I could provoke a burn in the hand only putting a pencil and saying that this is a cigarette.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and after 20 minutes you have signs of burn in the skin without putting any heat or cigarette.
Well, that shows that we create what we believe.
Yes, and I started to ask, what is the explanation for this? And if it's possible, why I can't do something the opposite, to take people that they have disease and to make the hypnosis and to see if there's some result. And I started to take persons with verruca, warts.
Warts, okay.
Yeah. And it's named verruca vulgaris. And this is a viral disease.
Okay.
And with hypnosis, I just said under the hypnosis, in 10 days, the warts will disappear. And in 10 days, the warts disappeared.
Wow, that's amazing.
Wow, it's a viral disease. How it could be? So what is the explanation? Can I, with my mind, act on the virus and to heal the virus? So from that point, I started to ask more deeper and deeper questions to understand how it's functioning. Where's the soul? And where is the psyche here? Why we don't involve the psychology in medicine?
So why cardiology?
Well, cardiology, after that, I could understand this. But actually, this is the heart of everything. It's the love from one side, and this is the heart of the human being, and this is the heart of the universe, actually. And from the heart, I learned a lot of things about the laws in the universe. Because all the laws in the universe, we have it in the heart.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. And from this, I developed 7 universal laws that most of them are present in the heart.
Can you tell us the laws that you discovered?
Yes, the first one is the law of unity or unicity. Actually, that everything started from nothing, from one thing actually, and this one thing is nothing, because in science they told us that everything is energy,
Right.
it's primordial energy, and I asked, well, how everything started. So in the Big Bang, we had a Big Bang, and from the Big Bang everything was appeared. I said, well, what was before?
Before the Big
The
Bang.
Big Bang. And they say, nothing. It was nothing. I said, how something could be created from nothing? So there's no response, there's no answer for these questions. And scientifically, they said, well, there's no violation of the energy conservation law, because everything is, the laws of physics started from the Big Bang, not before.
Right.
So this explanation is not, convincing. The second law is the spiral
Right.
rotation. If you imagine that this nothing has characteristics that today we know that behave like a liquid, like a fluid. So when the Big Bang happened, some part of this nothing started to move in a spiral. And the spiral movement gave the mass for the matter. So if there's no motion and no movement, there's no mass.
Right.
And the mass started with the motion. And from point, actually we connect the nothing with something through the spiral movement.
And also on our path, and we talked about the fact that this program is the path to enlightenment and inner peace. On our path, we go through that spiral so that we always come back to a situation that if we haven't resolved it, it comes back to us again so that we can create that solution.
Yeah, actually, the spiral, you can see it in nature everywhere. This is the logarithmic spiral. And you can see it in the flowers and in the galaxies and in everywhere, actually, where you have this connection between energy and matter. And the third law is the law of the Universal Trinity.
Okay.
Trinity is, if you have one spiral that meeting the other spiral that is rotating in the inverse direction,
Right.
they will connect together. And the third one comes and connect both together to create a three-dimension structure that looks like fungi or medusa,
Okay.
and start actually to have stability. And this, if we think about proton or neutron, they are made of three quarks. And I describe the quarks as spiral. So the stability in the proton, the stability of the matter, is derived from this connection of the Trinity.
So how do you explain, I mean, everybody talks today about the fact that we're in the third dimension, going through the fourth dimension in order to be in the fifth dimension. So how do you see that as a connection?
Actually, when we speak about anything, we have to define the things that we are speaking about. Actually, we are shifting in our conscious.
Right.
And this spiritual shifting, we are more aware about the spiritual dimension that we were not before.
Right.
So this consciousness that we have it today, this is transition from one phase to the other. Actually, not everybody has this transition, because we have a critical mass of people that they
I agree.
pass this level of awareness about spirituality. And it's due to the fact that the vibration of the soul of the people is higher.
Right.
And can perceive higher dimension.
Right.
Because like antenna, in order to perceive something, you have to have this frequency.
But I also believe that we are now, if we were on a path to connect to that higher spirit, we're now on a path to actually manifest it within ourselves.
Sure, because this is exactly the perception of the spiritual dimension, that we perceive it because we are in higher frequency and we can live it more as real.
Exactly.
In the past, we consider it something that is imaginary and it's not real. But today we know, even from the scientific point of view, that our universe, 73% of our universe is made of dark energy. It's energy that we cannot measure.
Right.
And 23% of our universe is made of virtual particles, which it's dark matter. And only 4% of our universe is matter. So what we thought before, that everything real is material, today we understood that actually it's the very tiny part of our reality.
Exactly.
Is in the physical part, because most of my reality is my thoughts and my imagination, my fantasies, and my dreams, and this is reality. Before I realize whatever thing in this material world, I have to think about it. I have to create it in my mind and in my soul, and that means that the reality, everything started there and it become material afterward.
I always say that anything that we think about or dream about or see,
It could be realized.
it could be realized.
That's right.
So how do you deal with the medical field? I mean, today people are more open, they're more conscious. I think they're more able to listen more freely. But in the past, it's almost like...
Yeah, actually, I started with this more than 30 years ago. And the first book I wrote in 1990. And the name of the book, The Seventh Sense. And actually, I believe...
Is that book available in English, The Seventh Sense?
No.
Okay.
I have two other books in English.
Which ones? So that...
The Unified Integrative Medicine.
Okay.
And the other one is The Universal Laws and The Seventh Sense.
Okay, great.
I believed, and I didn't... I haven't the intention to write a book, but I wrote my notes, and after that I looked to the notes and it could be a book. Mm-hmm. So in 1990 I finished to write my first book, and actually it was a lot difference between today and that time. Mm-hmm. And I continued this journey without expecting anything from anybody. And I wrote the second book and the third book and the fourth book. And today, actually, I realized that we cannot deal with medicine without taking into consideration the psyche and the soul.
I totally agree with you, by the way.
Because actually, otherwise, I will consider only the 4% of my reality. Mm-hmm. What about the rest? So, the method that I developed is integrate between body, psyche, and soul. And I define the soul as the energy and information that animate the physical body and the psyche. The psyche is the result of interaction between the energy and information of the soul with the brain. Mm-hmm. So there's no psyche without brain. But the information, it's not from the brain. The brain is only the instrument, the tool that analyzes the information.
So explain a little bit about the treatment. If I came to you with a certain illness or, pain, or how would that look?
Actually, today I have a complete map of the correspondence between the psychological conflicts and the physical diseases.
Oh,
by the way,
wow.
It was 1 month ago or less. It was published in the International Journal of Psychiatric Research.
Oh, okay, that's very interesting. So in that publication, you show
show the correspondence between the psychological conflict and the physical disease in very precise manner. That means it's mathematical. So every time that you have pain or even itching or something in your skin or disease, behind this you have a psychological conflict. And this psychological conflict create energy blockage. And the energy blockage, because there is nothing can function without the energy flow.
Right.
So if the flow of the energy is blocked, it starts to have a physiological dysfunction, and after that, physical disease. So from the disease, I can understand what is the psychological conflict that we have to deal with, and to elaborate it, to resolve it, and to complete the learning process.
Okay.
That means behind every psychological conflict, we have potential of learning that was stopped in the moment of the event. And now, and it's never late to complete this learning process, because in the moment we complete the learning process, the person doesn't need that same problem or conflict again.
However, something else will arise, I find.
Yes.
Because we're in constant, I mean, it's not like you reach the end line and okay, now everything's perfect. I think we're in a constant learning process, and whoever is sensitive to their body and listens to their body, they know that there's something, again, that they need to go through or understand or solve.
Actually, the first question that I ask my patient, why you come to life? I say, why? This is interesting question. I don't know exactly the answer. I said, this is the first question that we have to ask ourselves. And actually, every one of us came here to make a workshop, to learn, to grow, and to evolve spiritually. And through the events in life, they are trigger for us, stimulus that push us to grow and to evolve.
I agree.
So the difficulties, if I accept it, I have the possibility to pass the examination.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes there's many examinations.
Thanks God, because by the examination we can grow. Otherwise, it's good for you. You stay there in the beach and you are eating the fruits and you are enjoying your time, but you are not growing.
Right.
And you are not satisfied from this. The real satisfaction is not to enjoy what I am having for me. It's to be happy what I am giving for the others. And the more I learn for myself, the more I can be in giving state for others.
Exactly.
So this is the real point, and this is the secret of happiness. Happiness is the sign that I'm doing things with love. Mm-hmm. And when I'm doing things with love, I never tired from things that I enjoy it. I'm happy.
So what happens when someone's tired? Because as a spiritual person who has been evolving and going through these lessons, and I agree with everything that you say, I'm tired. What would you say about that?
Well, if we are speaking about the soul, for example, I divide the soul in three parts.
Okay.
Animal soul, human soul, and guiding spirit.
Okay.
The animal soul, actually, this is the energy that animates this body. Mm-hmm. And I consider it like a horse, my horse. Okay. Right. And the human soul is the riders of the horse. Mm-hmm. And the guiding spirit is the GPS, our GPS.
It's the essence, I think.
The guiding spirit is our intuition. Our sixth sense. So my horse need to have all his needs.
Right.
So I have to give rest and good alimentation and sexual activity and all the things that the animal needs. So you take your needs, and when you have everything that you need, you can serve me better. Mm-hmm. So I'm not the animal, and I'm not the horse, I'm the rider.
Right.
and I give all the things that my horse needs to serve me. It's like car or another tool that you.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
We need to take care of this vehicle. I
yeah.
always say this is a vehicle, and we need to take care of our
That's
vehicle.
right. So you have to give the rest, and if you are tired, give the rest, and you have good sleep, and next day you will be full with energy, and you can go on with your path, and you can grow, and you can love, and you can feel the happiness by serving and loving the others.
I totally agree. I brought it up because I hear it from a lot of spiritual people, people who are doing spiritual work and going through the path and being more and more enlightened and giving to others. And a lot of people today, especially like the last couple of years, are very, very tired. And that's why I brought it up.
Actually, the more you are doing things with love, unconditional love, the more you are strong.
Yes. Strong is different.
Yeah.
Strong is different.
Strong.
I think you can be strong and still be tired.
Yes, actually, you need to get sleep anyway.
Yes.
You need to charge your battery
Yeah.
and to have this energy to serve you.
Yes.
So you have basic needs that you have to respect.
So, if somebody comes to you for treatment, how long is a treatment? Is it a one-time thing? Is it something ongoing?
Well,
Is it a process?
Depends because if somebody has a chronic disease like cancer or arthritis or other colitis or Crohn's disease, we need more than one meeting. People that are coming, that they are suffering, and they don't understand why. And this is the best thing to do, to come when you don't have the well-being, because our purpose is to achieve the well-being.
Right.
Because actually, what I'm doing, I came back to the definition of health according to the World Health Organization,
Okay.
that defined health as a state of physical, social, and mental well-being, and not merely absence of disease.
What about emotional well-being? That's also part
yes.
of it.
Well, when in English, when you say mental, they intend the psychological aspect, that
Okay.
it contain the emotional, the mind, and the intuition.
Okay.
So all the psychological aspect is well-being actually, and the complete well-being, when we define well-being as state of mind in which the person feels he can realize aspiration in life with sense of love, happiness, and freedom. And
fulfillment, I would think, no?
the fulfillment actually is the process of fulfillment. If you are doing things with love and you are happy and you are free, you are
You're
fulfilled.
Yes.
Okay, so this is the main point that with the intervention, with the therapy that I'm doing, actually is to take all the psychological conflicts and to aid to elaborate this conflict and to complete the learning process. So, and this could be done in 1 hour.
Wow.
And with the energy washout. Energy
Okay.
washout is the method that we give energy from the head, and when start this energy to to flow in the body, start to tremble. And if you have emotional conflicts from the past, you start to relive it and to remember everything. And we complete the elaboration that was stopped in that time. And we get to complete the learning process in a way that it wouldn't be needed again to have the same conflict again. And after that, I teach the person to do the same thing every night before go to sleep.
Wonderful.
Is wash out, is auto wash out. That means it's self, You do it
like a
for your
self-cleansing.
cleansing, yes.
To cleanse yourself every
That's
night.
every night before you go.
Oh, interesting.
In very few minutes, you can achieve this tremble in your body, and you go to sleep like a child.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe like Angel.
Tell me something. Do you teach other doctors?
Yes, from 1995, I'm teaching this method in seminars, courses in different parts in Israel and Europe. And I'm teaching this to doctors, psychologists, therapists. And the method is well expanded now. You have more awareness about this, and a lot of therapists that using this method with success.
You know, this program will be international. If somebody wanted to be interested, is it something that can be done through Skype, or it has to be physically present when you're teaching someone?
Yes, we are preparing as well by the web, but the real time now we don't have it.
Okay, but you're planning
in
on
April. In April, we have a course in English in Germany.
Ah,
So
okay. That's good.
you can be informed in the my website naderbotto.com.
Perfect. Okay.
You can see my activity there. I have a lot of courses in Italian. I have a lot of activity in Italy, in Switzerland as well.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, a lot of people that are interested in this method because it's cheap, this immediate, and has a lot of values in prevention.
Well, my last question, and this is a tricky one, do you find that other people in the field are threatened by it? Because if you can treat people so quickly and easily, I mean, that could be a threat to the medical field in a way.
Not really, because what I'm saying all the time that the Western medicine is excellent in treating acute diseases and to save lives. But in prevention and chronic diseases, it failed. So we know this, and we are looking for methods that can help in this field.
So we need both.
We
We need
need-
conventional
exactly.
medicine
Exactly.
and we need alternative.
The conventional medicine is good to treat the body and all the diseases in the body, and especially in the acute phases that could be threatening for the life. And the other things that involve the soul and psyche is very good to treat, to prevent diseases, first of all. And for the persons that they are suffering from chronic disease, that they have no solution,
Right.
it has good value in this method as well.
That's so important because I always think that a holistic view is an important view.
Yeah.
People a lot of times are either pro this or pro that, and I
That's
think
right.
it needs to be a lot more
We don't need to
holistic.
be fanatic for one method or other.
Exactly.
I believe that whatever it is, you can help you in saving your life and giving you the opportunity to have the well-being. I think it's valuable.
Nader Botto, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.